Hello, Western Oregon sports fans, and welcome to this edition of Student Athlete Spotlight. Joining me today, we have track and field student athlete, Kaitlyn Reid. How are you doing today, Kaitlyn?
Good, how are you?
Good, I'm doing very well. Well, this new feature is to show a little bit of the journey of how Kaitlyn came to be at Western Oregon. We don't want to know just about your time on the track. We want to learn a little bit about what brought you to Western Oregon and some of your experiences here. So let's start off and just at the roots, I guess. When did you start doing track, and how old were you, and where did you participate at?
I started in 4th grade, actually, with Wilsonville and Westland Youth Track Club, and my dad brought me into it. He thought I'd be good at it, so that's kind of when I started.
Is that the first sport that they had you do, or did you do other ones when you were
I actually
younger?
played soccer before that, but I liked track a little bit more.
Always been fleet of foot then? Always
Yeah.
the fast one?
Yes.
So when you got to like high school and stuff, did you just stick with track? Was that your main focus, or did you continue to do soccer and other ones too?
I played track, and I also did swimming as well.
Oh, really?
Swim team, yeah.
Well, I got to hear what you did swimming. Were you a sprinter there too?
I was, yeah. I did the breaststroke was my best, probably, and then freestyle.
And when you were in high school, what track events were they having you compete in?
The relay and both hurdles, the 100 and 300 hurdles.
Okay, I didn't know if maybe they took advantage of that speed in something else and tried to grab a couple more points at anything.
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear a little bit about track and field. You've obviously stuck with it, 4th grade, like when you're 10 years old or something.
Yeah.
Why, what do you like best about this sport?
Not only do you have to have like a lot of power, but mind power as well, especially for the 400 hurdle race that I run. It's really difficult if you don't have enough, if you don't believe in yourself. So.
Well, I've always had the debate. I've always asked track and field coaches and other track and field athletes. To me, and I know you like it and everything, but I always thought the 400-meter hurdles or the 800-meter dash basically are the two most brutal races there has to be.
Yeah.
Because you're in a sprint the entire time, and something that's probably a little bit longer than it should be for a sprint.
Yeah. Yeah.
So which one do you say out of those two?
Well, I've actually ran both of them, and it's funny because at the end you feel like you have the same amount of like tiredness. So, I mean, it's weird, but I personally prefer the 400 hurdles, but.
Okay, so then you are saying
Yeah.
800 is a little worse then.
It's
Okay.
yeah.
I had to ask about that one. I want to hear, what's your favorite part about being here at Western Oregon? You've been here this is going on your 2nd year here. Just talk to me a little bit, you've been able to be through the battles once. Talk to me a little bit about your teammates and maybe just your experience here at part of the track team.
Team is awesome. Like, we all get together and just hang out, and it's all, like, really good chemistry. And the coaches are really good. They know what they're talking about, and they know like how to help each person specifically, like coaching to the person, not to the team, kind of a thing. And I feel really comfortable here. Did
you happen to know some of your teammates even before you came here? You compete against any of them in high school and stuff?
I did know Allie Mosier. I remember competing against her when I went to Clackamas Community College. But other than that, I didn't really know a lot of people. Okay,
so basically all new teammates, but pretty accepting. You got to be part of the group pretty quickly then.
Yeah.
I'm sure those bus rides and stuff like that up to Seattle will help do that for you.
Yes, definitely.
Well, I want to hear a little bit about your season's coming up. You're halfway into your indoor season right now. But just tell me, what are some of your goals you have, maybe both individually on the track and then just with school and everything else this year?
Well, first goal is to graduate this spring, and I should be doing that, which is pretty exciting. And then for track, just always the goal is to get to nationals. I got pretty close last year, but I didn't quite make it, so I'm really like training hard to try and get there this year.
When you put goals on it, you talk about getting to nationals. I know there's automatic qualifying times, provisional qualifying times. Do you have, I want to get this number? Do you have a number already picked out in your head? And you don't have to say it, but do you have a number already picked out for each event?
You know, I actually don't. Every time I go there, I just try and get a little faster and just slowly build my way down to the time that I want, and hopefully I'll get to the provisional.
Well, we always hear the rumors that the hurdlers stick together, the throwers stick together. Is that the same way in this track and field team? Do you hang out with the other ones too?
You know, it's kind of like that with distance and sprints, just because we have such separate practices and throws. But I think as soon as we're all on the bus together, we all intermingle and we're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Well, I want to hear, here at Western Oregon, what's your major?
I'm a psychology major.
And what do you want to do with that one exactly?
I would love to be a guidance counselor at a high school and preferably coach track as well during that. So
track's left a good impression on you then that long.
Yes.
Then.
Yeah.
Think they could get you over coaching jumps or anything, or would you strictly be just to the sprints?
I'd probably just stick to sprints and hurdles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know if you picked up some other stuff along the way. Well, I want to know a little bit, Western Oregon, you hear a lot about winning a race or anything else. What has been your most memorable moment here at Western Oregon? Maybe not on campus here, but just during the time you've had around the school.
I think the first time I ran the 400 because we had championships here last year, and that was just a really, like, when I was at Clackamas, I didn't think I'd be able to run at a, like, higher up school kind of a thing, like D2 school, so just, like, placing top 2 was, like, you know, beyond my dreams at that point, so I was pretty stoked about it.
That was a great race. I remember that one, too.
Yeah.
That was right out here, beautiful day and everything else like that.
Yes.
So you obviously came the route of Clackamas community, as you mentioned that way, came to Western Oregon. What would you, advice would you give to other student athletes possibly looking at Western Oregon as a place to transfer to pursue track or other academic affairs?
Yeah, I think we have a fairly successful track team, and I think it's a great place to transfer into. It was pretty easy. I didn't have any problems getting in, so I mean, it was a good transition for sure.
Well, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining me on this edition of Student Athlete Spotlight. Kaitlyn Reid will be part of the track and field team. They'll finish up their indoor season in just a couple weeks, and then the outdoor season goes, and we hope to see you reach your goal of going to nationals. The big one, you'll get to see Kaitlyn Reid out here at the GNAC Track and Field Championships, which will be out at on the Western Oregon campus on May 15th. So thank you all for watching this edition of Student Athlete Spotlight.